All right, what is going on, Ranger fans? Welcome to another edition of Full 7 Rangers. It is your host, Raymond Tapia. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and a comment. Turn on your notifications when I'm about to upload a post, a recap, or do highlights. You guys know the procedure. So, the Rangers have a very interesting win. Once again, they go into another shootout with the Columbus Blue Jackets. As y'all know, the Rangers have beaten the Blue Jackets last year in the same fashion at the Garden, but instead it was at the Road. So you can say, I guess, with this game, some people will call it a yawner, but the game wasn't too bad for me. I get it, like the Rangers were shooting a lot in the middle of the freaking second and third period, and somehow the opportunities didn't create goals, but honestly, both goalies played really good tonight. Igor Shesterkin had a pretty good night. Jet Greaves he pretty much only allowed 2 goals and he only played like 4 NHL games for the Columbus Blue Jackets. So that's not too bad for a guy who hasn't been in the NHL too long and at least gave them like not too bad of a loss. So we'll give credit where credit is due for Jet Greaves for allowing 2 goals. Igor Shesterkin has been very like on fire, man. He's just been averaging like pretty much 900 or 900 above as far as the saving percentage. So got to give credit where credit is due for Igor, man. He's been definitely carrying the Rangers for these past couple of games. And the Rangers are officially now in a 3-game winning streak, and they are now 9-1-1 on the road. They have beaten the Lightning, the Predators, and the Blue Jackets as of this week. And you guys know tomorrow they play the Red Wings at home, which that is going to be the $1 million question for everybody. Are they going to give us another home victory? Or will it be a repeat of the last couple of games? There's no telling. But we'll go ahead and get to the stats because there's a lot to talk about pretty much with this game. I mean, the Rangers, the only thing that you can probably argue about is like the face-offs. JT Miller wasn't winning too many face-offs, and the Blue Jackets were outwinning the Rangers with the face-offs by 33, even though the Rangers only had 30 face-off wins, so it ain't too bad. But the times where the Blue Jackets were winning the face-offs were very crucial. So, as always, let's get to it. Taylor Radish starts it off in the first period with the slashing at the breakaway on Miles Wood, and then that creates a penalty shot. So Miles Wood gets the penalty shot, and luckily Igor saves it on that play with the pad. And then from there, the Rangers they were just starting off very slow. They had like I think 4 shots to start off, and then the Blue Jackets they started a little slow, but then they started out shooting the Rangers as well. They had the puck in their blue zone a lot more as well with the Rangers, but I will give credit. Adam Edstrom was pretty good on the forechecking tonight too. And the Rangers were also out forechecking the Blue Jackets even when they were in their offensive zone. So I finally like to see that the Rangers finally learned to forecheck a lot in every game because this is something we've been begging for them to do for the past couple of seasons. And look what happens when you actually forecheck. You start playing good hockey because of it. So in the second period, Mika Zibanejad, which, like I said, guys, Mika Zibanejad, he's just been on a roll. He did his thing when I saw him play in Tampa, and he did his thing once again in Columbus on the road, and he actually broke a milestone. He now has, I believe, 256 goals as a New York Ranger, and I believe throughout his whole NHL career, it's now at 500 or something like that. So congrats to Mika Zibanejad for having 256 goals as a milestone, Mika. And you got to give credit, man. You can't be mad at him this year. Like, you'd be crazy to say, like, oh, he's playing like last year. No. Mika Zibanejad is playing with life once again. So I gotta give his props because this is what everybody's been waiting for Mika to do, like be the best version of himself like he was a couple of seasons ago. So yeah, Mika's just been on fire, man. He's just been a point per game player this season. So At 5:42, in the penalty on the power play, he pretty much hit the goal on the wrist shot. Artemi Panarin, which he's always like just gaining a point or two every time he plays his former team, the Blue Jackets, as well. And our Adam Fox with the assist as well. Now at 4:12, Damon Servenson draws the penalty on Alexis Lafreniere, pretty much a tripping, which that was another crazy thing for the New York Rangers. Like the refs were just horrible tonight. They didn't give the Rangers like not too many calls. There was like tons of missed calls that like the amount of plays that they freaking missed out on. I feel like the Rangers could have had at least like maybe 10 power plays. I'm not even like exaggerating. Like the amount of calls that was missed by the refs, Rangers would have probably had 10 power play opportunities tonight. But right after that, the Blue Jackets killed the penalty, of course. But then Urho Vakanainen, once again, typical Rangers fashion, where they're just drawing all these unnecessary penalties. He draws the cross-checking against Sean Monahan. And then from there, at 11:13, like things just still got weird because then the Blue Jackets started doing their part in drawing penalties. Because you had Dmitri Voronkov, he had pretty much had an interference call against Braden Schneider on the breakaway. But then at 1400, in the middle of the power play, there was a 4-on-4 situation. And they try to shift, but then Alexis Lafreniere pretty much draws the too many men on the ice. So now the Blue Jackets were in a power play situation, and you knew what was going to happen because the Rangers drew way too many penalties, and at some point the Blue Jackets are going to create some kind of opportunity on the power play because they're not too bad on the power play this season either. And of course, in typical fashion, at 15:20, Dmitri Voronkov scores the goal, the tip in, off the Zach Werenski shot pretty much, and Kirill Marchenko was a part of the assist as well. But then right after the power play, out of nowhere, Sam Carrick tries to retaliate from a couple of hits he was taking earlier from the team. And he pretty much goes on a tilt with Matteo Oliver. So Matteo Oliver and Sam Carrick pretty much go at it. Both draw fighting penalties, 5 minutes on the box, you guys already know. And then at the third period, the Rangers had a lot more opportunities from there. They were pretty much out shooting the Blue Jackets, I believe, like from 7 to 25, which was ridiculous because I still don't understand how you could have, like, they could have scored like 4 or 5 goals, the amount of shots they were taking, I'm going to be honest. But from there, we go to overtime, and then at overtime, they had a couple of chances as well. Mika Zibanejad and JT Miller, even Artemi Panarin, they created a couple of chances, but the Blue Jackets were just at their spot at the right time and blocking all the shots and things like that. So the defense pretty much ended up the Rangers and the Blue Jackets going into the shootout. Now, as you guys know, in the shootout, you've seen this before. Last year, the Vinny Trocheck pretty much had won the game for the Rangers, but this time it was a way more different outcome because I thought the Blue Jackets might have a chance to come back on this because I thought they were going to either get a game winner from Zach Werenski, the way he was like shooting the puck at overtime and the way he was passing it down. But at the shootout, at some point, I thought they were going to get it from here. But Igor Shesterkin once again carried us to the shootout, so thankfully he did that. And Kent Johnson pretty much starts off the shootout. He tries to hit a backhander, but Igor Shesterkin blocks it with his I believe the right pad because he tried to go wide right. And then it was Artemi Panarin's turn, and he's like, I believe, 59% in the shootout percentage. So Artemi Panarin tries to attempt it. He almost had a chance on the snapshot, but Jet Greaves pretty much stopped the play. And then from there, Adam Fantilli had a chance on the shootout. He comes down, and once again, another backhander, but Igor Shesterkin saves it on that play. And then Vinny Trocheck, which I've seen this picture before, it was very familiar. I actually said to myself, Watch him hit another shootout goal because I just had the feeling like the way he was setting it up and everything, you just kind of knew like he might hit another shootout goal because he did it last year. There's a possibility he can do it again. Which the crazy part about Vinny Trocheck, he is 29% in the shootout percentage this season. So when you hear that, it makes you feel like he has no chance in hell in hitting that shot. But typical Vinny Trocheck fashion, man, and he does it once again, this time on the road. Hits the snapshot goal on Jet Greaves, and then the Rangers have the lead in the shootout. But the Blue Jackets do answer right back because Kirill Marchenko hits a snapshot of his own, and now the Rangers have to hit this goal if they even want to win this game because now it's tied up, so it's literally a do or die situation in the shootout. And out of nowhere, JT Miller just hits the most like craziest freaking shot. Like the way he sped up and slowed down on that shot, it was actually absolutely absurd. He hit a snapper on Jet Greaves and he actually fooled him because he went down, tried to go down to the doormat on the net, and he pretty much slowed down his speed from there. And with his stick handling, he kind of like made Jet Greaves move a little bit, and from there he just hit the snapper with the freaking wide left. So that was absolutely diabolical to see from JC Miller. I'm glad he gave them the game winner. And you kind of want to see that from him as a captain because even though I'm sure he's good vocally, he's been actually doing good with the point production as well. So if we see more of that from JT Miller, this team can definitely turn it around. Absolutely. Like, I'm convinced they're just a wagon on the road at this point because, man, the amount of road wins they have is absolutely absurd. It's the weirdest season with this team, but at the same time, I can't complain either because we're winning games. We're winning games. We're still in the mix. So it's like, at this point, I know I was like frustrated and upset with how they were playing these past couple of games, but now you can say that they're turning things around. Now, once they start winning the home games and still continue this momentum on the road, then I can say, okay, we are so back. I'll give you guys the we're so back momentum. I got you, but we still got to see what happens tomorrow. If they can give us a home win tomorrow, then I can be a little happy because that'll be a 4-game winning streak, so it'll definitely feel like things are turning around a little bit. But honestly, I'll give you guys my final thought here because, man, there's a lot to talk about for the upcoming game because the Rangers now have to like play with a vengeance because the Red Wings are going to be mad not only because the Rangers have beaten them already at their home, but they lost in overtime against the Buffalo Sabres tonight. So they're going to be looking for blood, and they're just not going to be happy with how they've been playing. So Rangers are going to have to be ready for this home win because I'm pretty sure the Red Wings are tired of them getting swept by the Rangers, and for all we know, Artemi Panarin can probably give you a 4-point game tomorrow night, maybe a 3 or 2-pointer, I'm sure, but you know Artemi Panarin is going to dominate when they play the Red Wings. It's all up to everyone else if they're going to be able to contribute when they play at home as well, especially JT Miller and Alexa Lafreniere. You know, we just need everybody on the roster to get going at home. Like, just play like you do on the road at home, and you might actually win this game tomorrow. You did it against the Nashville Predators, so I'm sure with them, they're going to probably just have to get the first goal of the game going for them to start feeling like they have a chance. Because you guys know how the Rangers are at home. If somebody hits a goal, they like tend to give up. But thankfully, when they do see the opponents hit the goal lately, they actually at least try. So with the Predators game, they didn't give up. So they have to just keep that going. But as always, y'all, I'll keep y'all updated for tomorrow's game against the Red Wings at the Madison Square Garden. And thank y'all for watching. We're almost at 200 subscribers. We're now at 173, and you guys are just greatly appreciated for real. We can't do this channel without you, and just watching this channel grow It's absolutely amazing. So as always, y'all have a wonderful weekend. And let's go Rangers. Let's hope the win streak continues.